Hey everyone, welcome to Hometalk. I'm so excited to have you here today because we're making one of my favorite all-time projects that I've seen all over Pinterest recently, and I'm ready to share with you how I make mine. It's going to be so much fun, and I cannot wait to share with you exactly how we're doing it. But before we get started, I'm Tanner Bell from A Little Craft in Your Day, and you're watching Home Talk. So it's so much fun to have you here today, guys, and I want to know where you're visiting from. Leave me a comment right down here and share where you're visiting from, how the weather is, and we have Rachel on the camera who's going to be reading these comments off all throughout the show. So I really like seeing where you all are from. But let's jump into what you need for today's project. So we're using a 1x2 piece of wood, and we're going to talk about how we cut this with a circular saw later. And then we just have another piece of scrap wood, which is what we're going to stain and actually be the part of our wood frame today. So then we're using some of my favorite Minwax stains. This is the whitewash, and then this is my favorite all-time color called Jacobine. So I love these colors. You'll need just your drill, no scary tools, and then we're going to talk about using a circular saw today. I love circular saws. I think it's one of the best introductory power tools to use, especially when you're wanting to make little DIY projects for your home. It's the perfect one for you. And we'll probably talk about some paper towel, and we're going to talk about my favorite staining pads. These are perfect for any staining project. It gives even coverage, and it doesn't make you have to, use a whole roll of paper towel or ruin one of like a rag or something. So let's jump in to today's project. Rachel, do we have anyone visiting us?
Oh my gosh, we have so many people visiting us. We have some from Georgia, California, Florida, Texas, Louisiana. We've got people from everywhere.
Hello everyone. We're so excited that you're crafting with us this afternoon or this morning. I forget what time it is. So what we did was we took a large piece of a 1x2 and cut it to the size of our piece of wood. So I had this from a scrap piece of wood from building a closet, and I thought, oh my gosh, I want to turn this into a really awesome piece of home decor. And I was like, I think we can make this into a really cool farmhouse sign. So our piece of wood is 20 by 12 or 11 and a half. So you want to cut your smaller 1x2s to create the frame around your wood piece. So just like so, this is what you want to cut your pieces to. So for reference, we cut this one right here to 13 inches because we want to take into consideration the two sides. So we need two 13-inch pieces for our specific frame. And then your second one, you just want to cut to the same size right here, so only 20 inches. So you need two 20-inch pieces and then two 13-inch pieces. What I love about this project is you can make whatever size frame you want. So it doesn't matter, you can look at your stencil design and say, hey, I want it to be a perfect square. You can say, hey, I want it to be a rectangle but a little bit smaller. It's all up to you. So this is the place where you're able to customize it. Not a lot of math is required, and we used a circular saw to make our cuts. This is a perfect power tool for anyone just getting started. There are a ton of tutorials that you can find on YouTube or on Hometalk and learn how to use your circular saw, and there's so many other projects that you can make with the circular saw. So head on out, pick one up. It's perfect for this project, but you can also use a handsaw if you want to put some elbow grease into it, or you could use a jigsaw if you want to be a little bit more careful. So we just mark these off with a Sharpie and just cut those real quick. And then I recommend giving it a light sanding if you feel like it needs it. So now you would be left with our 4 pieces right here, and then our larger piece of wood. So let's jump into staining it. And since the whitewash actually takes a few multiple coats, let's go ahead and stain that first so we can have the first coat on it. I like having it very opaque, so a little bit richer, but I love using stain rather than paint so we can still see the wood grain effect. So I like to wear just a glove. This is a pack of gloves that we picked up for like $1 at the dollar store. And I just call this like my staining glove. It protects your hands and your arm actually from any of the stain. So let's grab this, and I just like to dab just a little bit into our wood stain, just like so. And I like to start in the middle and just start going out in a circle pattern, just like so. And you can rub it like this. There isn't really a completely wrong way to stain, so that's a really good thing to know. Now notice this is going to be able to give you very even coverage with your whitewash. So just like so, you can see we're just working this into the wood. We're going to dab just a little bit more, just like this.
We've got some more people from Cleveland, Russia, Alabama.
Hello friends, welcome to Hometalk. In today's DIY video, while we're live crafting, we're creating farmhouse signs that you're probably seeing all over Pinterest, all over Instagram. I know I've been loving them, so I'm excited to share with you how we're making our own today.
We've got some first-time people asking, what is this paint you're using? What is it? Is it stained?
Yeah, so we're using Minwax Whitewash Stain. The specifics are right here, and I love this. This is going to give you that perfect, really trendy whitewash effect. We've used this on my kitchen table. We've used this on numerous DIY projects, and it is perfect for this holiday season.
We've got some other people asking what pads you're using to stain and where you can get them.
So I picked mine up in a pack of 4. So you're able to pick up all 4 of these in a pack for like less than a few dollars at your local home improvement store. So go over and look where they sell the paintbrushes, where they sell all of the painter's tape, and you'll be able to find your very own pack of staining pads. This is my trick to having perfect even stain every single time. It saves you from using, like I said earlier, a whole roll of paper towel or ruining any type of dish towel or rag or anything like that. So these are specifically made for that. So we've applied our first coat. We're going to let this actually dry while we create and start staining with our Jacobean on our 1x2. So we're going to set this over to the side and move on over. I like to only have a glove on because I still want to have like a real hand to like grab things. So what we're going to do is pick up a second staining pad, and this is our Jacobean stain. And guys, if you pick up a bottle of stain in this size, it's going to last you for years. I've had this bottle right here for about 2 years, and I just keep it, in my garage. And as I stain, I just want to shake it up and stir it really well before using. So as you can see here, this is only going to be a 1 coat look. You don't need multiple coats at all.
For our viewers just tuning in, what are we making today?
We're making our very own farmhouse signs out of scrap pieces of wood. It's one of my favorite projects. I've been seeing it everywhere, so I was like, I think this would be such a fun craft. And you can find out all the information on this project after our live. You can head on over to Hometalk, and we have the entire tutorial posted for you. So if you want to know anything about like our favorite power tools to use to create this project, anything like that, the link will be in the comments. So look at this even stain. I love using these staining pads. So I'm just going to open up our paper towel so we can lay this here and just work in the stain. Super easy. The stain goes so much further than paint a lot of the times, which I love. So just like so, you want to make sure to grab these edges and just dab it in. Just like so. So really make sure you get the stain into the edges right here. Guys, share with us where you're watching from if you haven't already. Share with us how the weather is. We have a beautiful sunny day here. We're in East Tennessee, so we're enjoying the little bit chillier fall weather and really just enjoying daylight savings and everything. It's been getting darker here a little earlier, so it's been kind of fun.
We've got Alexandra from Ecuador, Martise from Oklahoma.
I love it. Hello, friends. Welcome to Hometalk.
Annie is from Greece.
Greece. I love Greece. I need to come visit. So as you see here, guys, we are just staining all our pieces of wood. And I love how quickly stain dries. Now, obviously, it's going to depend on what type of environment you're in, but for the most part, stain dries really quick. And I love how we can still see the wood grain. So notice how I go through it once and it's really thick, and then we go through and wipe off the excess. I love this look. Just like so. Now, if you're still wondering, we're using a staining pad, and this is probably one of my favorite tricks for creating your very own farmhouse sign, or really any staining project. So now we're just going to dab this on the edges, just like so. Flip it around. We're going to repeat that process. And it's super easy. So now we have 2 completed. We're just going to sit that right here. And now we're going to go in with our other 2.
Rebecca from, Debbie from Canada said that they got a lot of snow last night.
Oh my gosh, it is not even, we haven't even started thinking about snow here in Tennessee, and we probably won't until end of December, 1st of January. But Debbie, stay warm, craft with us inside. Yes, it is so much fun. Guys, can you believe that it's almost Thanksgiving? I think this would be a perfect piece of decor for your home. If you're hosting people, you could put one of your favorite sayings in it. Happy fall, y'all, if you're down south with me, would be a perfect saying. I think that would be really adorable for your decor. And then you could talk about how you made it yourself. So we're here in a minute or two, we're going to share with you how we're using vinyl to put inside of our frame, and that you can change it out throughout the seasons. So that's going to be really fun. So stay tuned to that. So we're just going to get a little bit more stain. This is only, I think, the second time I've had to dip my pad back into the stain to get any. This stuff goes so far. So just like that. And then we're going to flip it over. Just like so. And for the most part, this dries fairly quickly, so that's nice.
Felicia said that if you get stain on your hands, rub it out with some vegetable oil and then wash your hands, and it's all
I have
gone.
never knew that. I love that. Felicia, thank you so much for sharing that with us. What a fantastic tip, and that's so nice that here at Hometalk we have such a great community of people that have tried different things, and that's what I find to be the best about reading all of the amazing articles over on Hometalk. You get to hear what really worked for people and straight to the point. So I really love it. If you've not headed over and checked out hometalk.com before, head on over there. We have projects for seriously almost any type of home improvement, craft, DIY project you could think of. So there's a ton of inspiration.
And what are we making today for the people who just tuned in?
Yeah, we're making farmhouse signs, and we're about to share with you our tips on putting this all together. Currently we're staining, and my favorite thing about this project is we're using just scrap pieces of wood that we already had. So for me, all of this was left over from building some closet shelving. But I'm sure you guys have been working on some really fun home improvement projects, or you just have pieces of scraps laying around. So just like so, now we're going to let this dry for a moment, and we're going to go back to our white stain, and I'm going to take the gloves off since it has some residue of the darker stain, just so we don't get that, or it transfers onto our whitewash. So just like so, I'm going to take a piece of paper towel, make sure my hands are all good there, and we're going to apply another coat onto our whitewash. So this is one of my favorite parts, guys, to apply a second coat. And you may be thinking, Tanner, this takes so long to stain. It really doesn't. I enjoy staining so much, and the second coat right here really gives a lot of impact. So now we're just going to apply the second coat.
We've got some more viewers from Idaho, Ireland,
Hello.
Argentina.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Home Talk. I'm so excited you're here with us crafting. Okay. So we're just about completed right here. Just like so. Okay. So now you want to let this dry. Like I said, depending on your environment will decide how long you need to let that dry. But I'm just going to take a piece of paper towel. I find that if you do get stain on your hands, it's easier to get it off before it dries. But we had Felicia leave a tip that you can get all of your stain off with vegetable oil. So I think that's a fantastic idea, and I think it would work really well. So these are the stains we used for today's project. If anyone's wanting to know the colors, this is Jacobean, and this is just the whitewash pickling from Minwax. This company is fantastic for stains, so I love them. Been using it for years. So now you're probably thinking, Tanner, we have this right here. How are we going to build it and create our sign? I found that a lot of people are recommending using a nail gun. I have actually not picked up a nail gun. My other one actually broke, so I need to go pick up a new one, but I found that you're able to use a drill to create this frame. So just like so, do you guys not love these colors? I love how this look comes together. It looks amazing and it's really fun. So we're just recommending using screws to screw this all together into the piece of wood. I recommend maybe having a friend hold it or clamping it in place so you have that stability as you drill through this. But honestly, if you have a nail gun, that's going to be your best bet. So if you guys have any questions about that, Rachel will read those off and we'll answer those. But that's what we found to be the best way. So just using, your drill, taking your time and enjoying it. But if you want the best way, we found that we recommend the nail gun. And I like to use just a little bit of wood glue as well, just for that extra protection of making sure it's going to stay together for years to come. So now we're just going to let that dry. But luckily, the magic of our Facebook Live, we have one already complete that we're going to be able to apply our stencil to. So let's move this over.
We do have a question out there.
Okay. Someone
is wondering if you're going to seal this with anything. If so, what?
That's a fantastic question. If I was going to seal it, I would use a polyurethane. You don't have to seal this project, but if you would like to, polyurethane would be perfect. I really just love seeing this beautiful wood, so it's really up to you and what you would prefer, so that's awesome. Now let's talk about, you have a finished wood frame, and I love this. I think this is fantastic. This is what it'll look like after everything is dry, after everything's screwed together. You can start to see here we just added a few screws, very simple. The nail gun would be a little bit cleaner, so just a little FYI. I used a die cutting machine to cut out a vinyl decal, and this is going to be perfect for the holiday season. I love it, but you could, like I said, use all kinds of different sayings, and I love that vinyl isn't super permanent, so throughout the different seasons, you're going to be able to change out your vinyl for the different holidays and everything like that. So I'm going to share with you how we just do a transfer of the vinyl. All we want to do is peel this up, and you want to make sure it's able to come with us. So you see how we're using transfer tape right now, and I love using transfer tape. It saves your project every single time, especially when you're making a project that is like, I believe this is about 17 inches by 11. So you want to make sure that you use the proper transfer tape. So I'm just going to lay this project down. And Rachel, do you feel like this is I feel like it's a little off center. Before applying it, let's make sure that we like the placement. I'm doing this little backwards. Rachel, how does this look?
It looks good to me.
It looks good to you? Okay.
Looks good to
so
me.
Now I like to go ahead and start at one side. You can use a gift card or a credit card or your finger or just anything you may have to apply, and you really just want to varnish the surface.
Oh, we've got a bunch of questions. What if you don't have a die cutting machine?
Yeah. So what we found to be able to be great if you don't have a die cutting machine is using a stencil that you can pick up at the craft store or using a template from online. And they even offer pre-cut vinyl decals at the craft store now. So there's going to be so many different options for you. I even know of really creative people that paint their own sayings onto this if they have really great hand lettering or anything like that. You know, the possibilities are truly endless with this type of project. So it kind of gets you a little excited to see what you're going to do.
And the other questions are, What type of transfer tape is that? How did you get it? And what
Yeah.
type of vinyl do you have?
So this is just regular vinyl you're going to pick up at the craft store. This is Cricut vinyl that I purchased with my machine, and this is also Cricut transfer tape. So every different brands go have them. You know, I tested a lot of them from the different craft stores, and I really just like using the ones that are on sale, like completely. I just really like to use whatever's the cheapest, but you can test out different ones and find one that's going to work best for your needs. Just like so. So we're just going to make sure. I really need to grab, Rachel, can I grab one of my debit cards from you?
Sure.
I'm going to just use the back of this one and hold it here. So you just want to have a gift card or something like that to varnish it. And you're going to see what varnishing really does. So applying the pressure right here and just pulling up, you're going to see that it's going to stay very well. So look at that. Super easy. Let's transfer positions. Just like so. Fantastic. So now let's go ahead and varnish on going down here. So I'm just going to go ahead and varnish the entire surface so we can start healing this up very well. Fantastic. And this is just really securing the vinyl onto your wood. Sometimes if you're using a slick surface with vinyl, like a surface like glass, you're going to definitely want to take your time doing this. But since it's wood, it should adhere fairly well. And each die cutting machine makes different tools to use, but I like to try to use as less tools as possible. So using a gift card or anything like that is usually my best bet. So now we're just peeling, and you can see if there's any areas that are still needing to be varnished. You can go through and just do that really well. Just like so.
Everyone is loving the font and his design.
Yay! If you guys would like to learn more about this specific design, you're able to head on over to our website to learn more about it. And that is makersgonnalearn.com. It's actually a new design that we have exclusive over there. So it's fantastic. We love it. There's 30 different designs to choose from for this holiday season. So sometimes, since the wood's unfinished, it sometimes has some trouble sticking to it, like you were seeing with our E right here. But this is one of those processes you don't want to stress over. Some people really enjoy weeding, and I really enjoy transferring onto our material.
Everyone wants to know what that website was one more time.
Okay, sorry guys, I'm trying to focus. You can learn more about this design at makersgonnalearn.com. So just that simple. Okay. But you can also design your own in the software, anything like that that you have with a die cutting machine. So, just like so. Perfect. And I'm just peeling this up. You really want to take it word from word, just like so. Awesome. And now we're going to repeat this process down here. Love it. Yay! Oh, this is going really well. Ta-da! And I love how you're going to be able to see this finished project super soon. Okay. Awesome. Rachel, what's everyone thinking?
Everyone is loving it. Everyone absolutely loves the design, loves how the project's coming. They love
so
the stains that we use.
Yes, I'm so excited to almost be completely finished so we can share with you the finished farmhouse frame. Okay guys, we're almost there. In the home stretch. Don't you feel like this every DIY project? I'm like, okay, I've worked so hard on it. We're almost to the finish line.
And everyone wants to know the size of our boards, if you can remember.
Yes, so I believe this is a 20-inch by 13 or something like that. So you can make these completely what you need or anything like that. That's one of the beauties of this project. So, okay, we're in the home stretch right here. Last 3 words. I feel like we're in a crafting competition, but it's just us hanging out. Okay. Perfect. Love it. Awesome, guys. Check it out. And now a lot of people like to reuse the transfer tape, but for me, it's just a little hard sometimes. So we're just going to set this to the side. But check out our beautiful, beautiful vinyl cutout. I love this. Don't you guys enjoy this? Can you believe we made this just within a couple of minutes? And using scrap pieces of wood, stain you may already have, and it's really such an inexpensive DIY project. So if you want to learn more about how we made this, if you're just joining us, we're going to have the full instructions posted over on hometalk.com, and you can make your very own farmhouse sign. So guys, do we have anything else we want to let everyone know about?
Everyone's just loving it.
Awesome!
Everybody enjoys it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Come back and join us at Home Talk for another live crafting hangout. See ya!